been a while since our episode at Matsumuda, and been trying to find a way to come to terms with what happened and to explain it in some way that makes some sense. I've had the timeline done for ages, but just haven't had the energy to actually sit down and do the whole thing. And try and just paste a story together and explain what happened. As it turned out, and as I'll show on the photographs we took of our journey, we had left the Gazer Banks and we were on our way past Mayotte en route to the Lazarus Banks. When we encountered no wind and a bit of swell and decided to change course, we decided to go around the back of the island, motoring because of the current, and also it was a straighter line to Lazarus Banks. The entry into the EEZ, economic exclusion zone, there's no actual zone. Obviously there's 200 nautical miles waters for any country, but you're not doing any economics or running a business or anything, so merely sailing past would barely constitute you breaking any law. But according to them, that was the case. So I think either way, whether we'd gone past on the right-hand side or the left-hand side of the island, it wasn't going to make any difference. I'm sure they would have hauled us in anyway. Yeah, I've put together a few clips of our arrival at the island, or as we went past the southern tip of the island. Just taking photographs of the greenery, and it's really lush and mountainous, which is unusual. We don't often see that kind of landscape, and the baobab trees on the beach, and etc. And basically it was a beautiful day, and we were just cruising along and minding our own business. And in fact, we just sat down to have just a light cool drink or crushed little delight that Kerry had made for us, and enjoying the sundowners when this rib came flying around the corner from the northern side of the island. Loaded with, I don't know, 8 or 10 guys with AK-47s in camo gear, etc., boots. Basically got stopped and told to allow them on board as that we were under arrest, or they basically just made the sign with the handcuffs, and yeah, the guys stepped on board, and yeah, from then on we were basically were told to do exactly as they said. There was very little comms because they didn't appear to speak French, didn't speak any English, and we were basically gesticulated and explained to that we were supposed to return to their port on the other side of the island. So it was probably a 4-hour journey around the island, the northern point, and then back down to the midway down the eastern part of the island to the port of Matsamuda, all the while under guard and not permitted to go anywhere, do anything, or even go to the toilet without permission. It was the most bizarre situation, and it was all fine because we thought, okay, well, there's some misunderstanding, and they'll have a look at our paperwork and they'll clear it up, and we'll be on our way again. But yeah, the mood took a big turn when they decided to ask for the papers on the boat, which is common, I suppose, and then our passports, and those were taken away and put into together with my bag, or my rucksack, basically. All that stuff was stashed away and taken away, and then it got even worse when they asked us to surrender all our comms, cell phones, tablets, any means of communication or anything. Yeah, I think things seriously became a bit more dangerous for us, and also very worrisome. It was super tense, and yeah, it's very difficult to explain that kind of situation. I mean, John and I been in the services, and it's against your nature to capitulate in that way. But there's so little you can do when you got 6-7 guys on the boat in combat uniform and AK-47s in a very aggressive mood. So you tend to just go along with what's happening, Anyway, that was the case until we got to the port. Another one of the things which was pretty nerve-wracking was that we had no idea what the problem was or why we'd been arrested, and they just said we'd broken the law, and as we had been fishing at the Gaza Bank, which is a French bank, prior to coming past my yacht and then Matsamuda, we weren't sure whether we'd been observed on AIS or because we'd fished at the atoll. So while some of the guys were busy with John, etc., up at the helm, I was busy deleting our track, any waypoints, etc., trying to get it, wipe the slate clean. Because we had no idea what the actual reason was for our arrest. As it turned out in the end, when we went past my yacht, nobody had radioed us or anything like that. That's sort of probably be regarded as still a civilized country, and they obviously would have the same exclusion zones, I would imagine. There's nothing in the charts or anything that warns you of any such sort of transgressions. But yeah, as it turned out, that had nothing to do with it. It was nothing to do with fishing or anything like that. To this day, I'm actually not quite sure what it actually was all about. So yeah. As you can see on the dot, it's just about where we were arrested, and the track has been deleted, and we went around the back of the island. On arrival at the port, we had 20 people come on board. All of this at sort of 10 o'clock at night. Obviously with the guards around the boat, with people searching the vessel, we had demanding documents, asking us questions. At one stage, we even they took photographs of us together apart. They took photographs of themselves on the boat. It was the most bizarre situation. Anyway, eventually they left us under guard, and the next morning we were basically taken off the boat one by one, taken to the disgusting little place. I can't explain how run down this place is. Yeah, shithole country. Best describe it. But anyway, yeah, I refused to let Kerry be taken anywhere without me being present. Yeah, so we were asked a lot of questions, bizarre questions as well, I suppose. John spent 3 hours in interrogation. All the time there was no explanation as to what was going on and where we were going and why, other than the exclusion zone, and we'd broken the law and that we were going to have a court appearance. And yeah, we had no idea where this was all going to. The only thing which makes it even more bizarre is when they asked us for the documents, and I had some money, took some of our money and put it in there because I was obviously expecting a bribe or a fine or something of some sort. And we were told to remove all the money. And at no stage did they ever ask for any compensation or any remuneration, not remuneration, but any payment of any sort. There was obviously threats of jail, and our biggest worry obviously was that the boat was going to be confiscated. You know, it's a brand new boat. For John, it was extremely worrying. Just an incredibly bizarre situation where you had no idea what was coming next. Anyway, the whole day carried on like that with the interrogation, etc. And then we were escorted back to the boat and told to put anchor with guards on board and to wait for their decision. In the evening of the first day, it looked like a surveyor of sorts who came on, and another look at our papers with another gentleman who was involved with the arrest. And he seemed a little bit more amicable, although they seemed to try as much as they could to find some sort of the reason to hold us. Yeah, and then at 10 o'clock the following night we were summoned back to the jetty, at which stage myself and John thought one of us was going to be taken away from the boat. It just seemed that way because they were super aggressive. And when we got to we had to tie up next to an old rusty schooner, and so I wanted John off onto the other boat. So I elected to go with John. And when we got onto the boat, they handed us all our gear, our phones and everything, and said sign, and that was it. We could go. I mean, there's absolutely no explanation, but it sounds like such a short story. But the amount of stress and yeah, I don't know. There's so many things that go through your mind in that situation and the place, and it was completely bizarre. Anyway, safe to say we hightailed it out of there with all haste and full speed on both motors. And it took us days after that just to get over it. I mean, we really took the wind out of ourselves. We didn't feel like fishing. It was just so bizarre. Now, the other interesting thing about this place is that we didn't know about either. Is that in 2001, I think it was, there were 3 islands of the 4 Comores Islands went independent. In other words, they broke away from French rule. They're still under French rule, but they're independent. I don't understand the whole setup, but it's a Muslim. Well, it's a Muslim religion in the area, and Mayotte is still under French rule, and these islands still form part of the Comores, that's Grand Comores, and this particular one, Matsamuda. But there seems to be some sort of political underlying tension, and they seem to have gone rogue completely. Um, it's a very difficult situation to explain, and we found it very hard to explain because they don't want anything to do with the French, and they speak in Arabic and Comorian dialect as well. So uh, to this day, I've got no idea what the actual setup is there, but it definitely looks like there's some political problems there as well. So whether we fell foul of that and just got in the wrong place at the wrong time, we will never know. It's very difficult to explain that kind of situation. Looking back on it now, it's almost a blur. Yeah, definitely won't be going back there again.